everyone, and welcome to day one of our 3-day trip down through the Uinta Mountains and back up through Wyoming. So right now we're about 2 hours into the trip. We've stopped at a rest area between Yhen and Afton, Wyoming. So here I'll kind of show you around the rest area. It's kind of a nice rest area. You know, just off a little 2-lane road, but it's really clean. They keep it up real nice. And so today started out a little different than I anticipated it would. Started out at about 4:54 in the morning with a chirping smoke alarm, or so I thought. So I got up, got the ladder out, changed the one that was up in the vaulted ceiling in the living room, because I thought that's the one it was coming from, and that didn't stop it. So I changed the one in the hallway. That didn't stop it either. So at that point it was still too early in the morning to go get batteries because all the stores were closed. So just kind of cruised off, and we kind of just laid in bed and waited for some stores to open. 7 o'clock I went over and got some batteries, replaced all the batteries and all the smoke alarms, and it was still chirping. So my wife suggested, hey, you know, it might be the carbon monoxide detector in the hallway, and guess what, it was. So anyway, that was how the morning started. But as you can tell, it's a beautiful morning out here today. I mean, you can see back here behind me, really cool valley, good little grasslands and stuff. This is I love this section of the ride. And as you know, and you saw at the beginning here, that you know, I had to show the lake views and stuff that you know, that I ride through just to get here. If you want to see more of that section, you can check out some of my other videos. There's one called Palisades Lake Ride, and that's that ride around that lake. But anyway, just thought I'd kind of fill you in on how the morning's going so far, and we'll get down in the Uinta Mountains. I can't remember if I told you I'd post a map, but I'll post a map right here, and then you guys can kind of see where I'm at right now. I'm in between Yhen and Afton, and we're gonna end our trip down towards the bottom end of the Uinta Mountains there. So I'll check in as I find some cool stuff along the way, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. Bye. Well, welcome back everyone. We're about 2 more hours down the road from where we last spoke, and as you can see behind me, the geography's changed a little bit. It's starting to get more sagebrush flats and stuff like that. We got a little marsh area here. This is a wildlife refuge. I stopped at here just to have lunch and take a break. We're just over halfway on mileage as far as on our trip, and so we're gonna go back. We're gonna go from this sagebrush kind of rolling hills, and then we'll end up back in the mountains, high mountains. I think one of the passes we're gonna go over is probably about 10,000 feet, if I remember right. We'll stop in there and check that out, as well as a lot of high mountain lakes and some waterfalls coming up too. So yeah, it started out this morning. It was 62 when I left the house. It's about 92, 93 right now. That should be about as hot as it's going to get for us, I hope, and then we'll start heading back up the mountains. So you guys, I'll show you a couple more scenes as we travel there, and then I'll talk to you in a little bit. Well, everyone, we made it to camp. We're staying at the Yellow Pine Campground, just outside of Camas, Utah. Tell you what, for being a Thursday, this place is pretty busy. I drove through a couple of camp spots up above that were really, really nice as far as the views. They were on the shores of some alpine lakes, and they were super pretty, but man, they were crowded. And I'm just not feeling the crowds today, so I cruised on down here to Yellow Pine. The scenery's not quite as good, but it's still not too bad. It is pretty quiet. Got a little creek over here, and I'll give you a little pan around of what camp looks like here. Got dinner on. You saw there was pulled pork and mashed potatoes. And there's the old Indian sitting over there. Good workhorse for the day. 325 miles so far. We might go for an evening ride too. Then we have our little tent pad down there, and we got some pretty nice views of the mountains down there. It's not too bad. So anyway, we'll probably go on another ride this evening. I think there's a waterfall up the road here about 8 or 10 miles. I'm gonna try to run up there and get some pictures of at sunset. I think it'll be pretty nice. And then we'll meet you back at camp. And if I don't do that, then I'll talk to you later here at camp just a little while. Worth a 15-minute ride back up here. When I came by earlier today, the parking lot was so stuffed full of people you couldn't even get in here. And right now I've got the place to myself, so it's pretty cool. Good. I'm glad I came back. Well, we can pretty much say we use this day up. It's, I don't know, probably like about 9 o'clock right now. Just got back to camp. Went up, you saw the waterfall and some of the stuff that we saw here after dinner. That was definitely worth the ride up there. Check that out. The weather's cooled down. When I rolled into camp, it was about 92 degrees probably. Pretty hot. I was pretty wore out, especially after being up since before 5 this morning. And it was a good day to put on. I think grand total, I just looked before I sat down here, and I think it was 366 miles for the day. I rode down into town so I could get some cell signal, make a phone call back to the wife, tell her I was okay, everything was still doing good. And now we're just going to kick back here by the stream and enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a little Wyoming whiskey that we bought on our last trip over to Devil's Towers, where we bought that at the KOA right there. So I'm going to use up some of that Wyoming whiskey we bought a couple weeks back. Just kind of sit here and sip on that and enjoy the rest of the evening. And tomorrow we're going to go to Flaming Gorge and some other places in between there. I don't know if there's not a lot of interesting stuff. And then finish up at a Fontenelle Reservoir, which is kind of just in the high sagebrush desert in Wyoming. So probably going to be another warmer tomorrow. So we'll try to get it done, and we'll see you in the morning. You take care, and we'll see you next time. So we'll go ahead and tune back in for day 2. And you guys ride safe out there. See ya. Bye.